Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I want to do is I want to explain my research to a lot of people because there's a lot of people out there say, well, no, you can't be right about this. Well, you might be right about this, but you might be right about that, or one thing or another. Okay, but people don't understand when it comes to my research into the JFK assassination. I'm not telling a story. I'm not, you know, coming up with this or coming up with that like a lot of researchers do. I sit there and I tell you there was 5 gunmen, and you've watched my research and you watch my videos and you go over my research, and if you order my books like Evidence of Conspiracy, you'll find all this information. I'm showing you gunmen with rifles, okay, and I'm also showing you their locations, okay. We have to look at this, okay. No other researcher can show this type of evidence, but I can. Now, when I sit there and I say, well, there's a gunman, and when I point this up here, I said there's a gunman on the rooftop of the county records building. I said there's a gunman on the second floor of the county records building. I said Oswald was on the sixth floor of the Texas School Book Depository. There was 2 gunmen inside shelter number 3 right behind Mr. Pruder. I'm not just telling you a story. I'm actually showing you real images of these gunmen, and you see them with rifles. And you also see them firing from them locations as well, as we see in the films and images. Okay, so I'm telling you a location, I'm showing you a location, and I'm showing you basically the shots are being fired there, and I'm showing you the gunman that's actually there. Just like when I show the location of the 2 gunmen behind in shelter number 3 behind Mr. Spruder. Okay, here's Mr. Spruder standing on the wall. We have the Newman family standing right here. What's right behind shelter number 3? If we look at this, we're going to say that, well, the picket fence area is over on their right side, and we have Texas School Book Depository, which is way over on their left side. What's right behind them is shelter number 3. These are where the shots came from, because if we watch it, we hear the first testimonies of Mr. Spruder. He said the assassin was right behind him. We hear the Newmans talk about, well, the shots came from directly behind us. Okay, now their story is matching what we find. We see in the Mormon photo, we see 2 gunmen inside shelter number 3, one looking through the window and one on the side of the shelter with rifles in their hands. We see in the Bronson film, the Nix film, shots being fired from this location. We see a side view in the Darnell film showing one gunman still aiming his rifle. Uh, we see when we line up the frames with the Zapruder film, we see that the shots that these 2 gunmen took was to Governor Connally and JFK, which was the fatal headshot to JFK and a shot to Governor Connally in his back when he was turning to his left. I even show you the view that the gunman had. What you see, he had a clear view. Okay, I'm showing you evidence. A lot of people's not going to, they'll tell you there's a gunman behind a picket fence, but what they have to show. Okay, my research, I'm showing the gunman. I'm showing the locations. I'm showing you with rifles. I'm showing you fine rifles. I show you photographic evidence of each shot that they took that day. 13 shots were taken that day. I show you this evidence here of on the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository. The 2 shots was fired from this location. I show you photographic evidence. The gunman on the 2nd floor of the county records building. I'm showing you photographic evidence of all 4 shots that he took that day. He took shot number 2, 3, 8, and 13. I show you the shots. I show you evidence that we see in the films and images and stuff. We can see in a much more film. I mean, in a Hughes film, a shot being fired from that window, and much more film. And in the Bell film, we see a gunman hanging out of the window with a rifle in his hand. Okay, I'm showing you location where these shots made contact because we can see all of this. Same thing as for the 2 gunmen inside shelter number 3. Not only I'm telling you what happened that day, but I'm also showing you by photographic evidence. And I'm showing you the shots, and I'm showing you the gunman that was in that location was 2 of the trams. Same thing for the gunman on the rooftop of the county records building. I'm presenting evidence. I'm showing you facts. I'm showing you what took place today. I'm showing you that actually even today, like the 2 bullet holes in the manhole cover, can still be seen today and felt today. This is called pure evidence. This is called pure research. I'm showing you that all these shots, the manhole cover, the grass area, and the curb shot is all in the same line of fire. Okay, I'm showing you this. I'm showing you time frames. No other researchers got the time frames. I'm showing you time frames because I have the time frames because it's based on the Zapruder film starting with frame 133 of that film. And I point exactly when, and I tell you exactly when I started my time frame. Was in frame 133 when we first see JFK's limo in the Zapruder film. And then we base it on that as we go along. Okay, of when each shot made contact with either JFK or Governor Connally or even in the surroundings. This is when they made contact with. Okay, shot number one made contact with uh, JFK in the back. That bullet struck JFK in the back in frame in 7.16 seconds from frame 133 on to frame 224. Okay, that was a time frame in between them frames. And that's when JFK was first shot in the back. When he was first shot in the head, okay, it was frame 229, okay, of the Zapruder film. And from frame 133 to frame 229 of the Zapruder film was 7.58 seconds. So see, I pinpoint exactly when these bullets make contact. No other researchers done this because they don't find this information, which these information shows us. Just like shot number one, we know exactly now what time that shot was taken by this based on the Zapruder film from frame starting with frame 133. We know that that bullet struck JFK in the back. We know the next shot struck JFK in the back of the head. We know the next shot shot Governor Connally on his right side when he was looking out to his right. We know JFK's fatal headshot came from shelter number 3 because not only we can see this, but we know the time frame that he took that shot and everything else. Just like we know the locations of where these gunmen and where these shots came from. And we can base these locations, we can base this angles now, because now we know the location of where each gunman was at by photographic evidence and by the distance of each shots and how the angles of each shot was taking place. So now we know exactly who took these shots. Okay, we know the time frame in between shots. The time frame in between shots gives us a lot more information because now we know exactly that there was two or three shooters shooting at the same time as well. Okay, because we see the distance between shots 4 and 5. We know they were taken at the same time because there's 0.01 of a second between both of them shots. Okay, the shot number one, shot number two. Okay, we know them two shots is fired almost like back to back because there's only 0.42 seconds in between both of those shots. So from frame 224, when JFK was first shot in the back, to frame 229, in between them frames was 0.42 of a second, which that's how close the shots were taken from one another. And these were exactly the so-called firecracker shots that people claimed. Okay, by knowing the distance and by the location of the gunman, now we know exactly and we can pinpoint what distance that these gunmen had when they took their shots. Okay, like we got shot number one, shot number two, now shot number three, and so on and so on. And now we know the true distance of when each shots occur and how much distance they have between when they took these shots. Okay, this is a lot of information that we now know today that no one knew back then. Just like when people says, well, how did a gunman, look out a top window of the shelter? Okay, again, I go back in and I show this as well. This is how the gunman was standing inside the shelter. He was standing on one guy, his back. Like I said, he was standing on his back anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes when he was taking test shots. But the actual time frame of that gunman only had to stand on his back for probably in between 5 to 10 seconds. He only had to stand on that guy's back to take his aim, take his shot. Okay, so it was actually less time. So right there, I could prove that a guy could stand on somebody's back for anywhere from 1 minute all the way up to 10 minutes, all the way up to 15 minutes without hurting either one of them. And he'd have perfect balance and at the same time as well. Okay, that's why I do the test as well. People don't understand that when it comes to my research, I'm not telling a story. Okay, I'm showing you facts. I'm showing you evidence. I'm showing you the gunman. I'm showing you their location. I'm showing you fine routes for location. I'm showing you time frames on the shots they took. I'm showing you time frames of where these shots made contact with. I'm showing you the distance between that gunman and JFK at the time of these shots, or distraction shots, or even Governor Connally shots. Okay, I'm showing you photographic evidence of a gunman right here that has a butt plate of an imprint on his left lapel, same as the gunman on the side of shelter number 3. He was aiming the rifle from his left, and he was firing the rifle from his left. And now we have this tramp here, which has the same profile, same hairline and all, as that gunman on the side of the shelter. And we also see a butt plate from a rifle imprint on his left lapel. Okay, so see, this is evidence that's compelled together and everything else, and it's all in this one book. It's all this information is in this one book. Okay, that's why people don't understand when they're going to look at my videos. Okay, they're going to base what I say in my videos on research. Okay, all I'm doing is I'm not telling you a story. I'm showing you facts. I'm bringing facts to the table. I'm bringing evidence to the table, which they want you to overlook because they don't want you to see this evidence. They don't want you to know all this information. That's why if you look at any JFK researcher, okay, and I'll push me to the side just for a moment, and you look at any other JFK researcher, do you see them making YouTube videos? Do you see them posting their evidence that's in their books? Okay, they're going to tell you buy their books, but that's it. They'll go to a conference to point out a little bit here, a little bit there, because they got time period they work with, but they're not going to show you the whole evidence. They're going to tell you pinpoint certain things and stuff like that. When they give you information, they're going to like this Zapruder camera, how he was recording, how he was filming it, what type of film did he use, how they developed it, how you know what frames they take out stuff. They're not going to tell you none of this information. Okay, you're going to find that information here. You're going to find all my research in videos. You're going to find all my research is being posted on YouTube or on Twitter. Okay, all my research is in this one book. Okay, this is what I'm trying to explain to people when it comes to my research. Okay, I'm not out to tell a story. I'm not out looking for fame. I'm not out looking for glory. I'm not out looking to become a millionaire because I know I won't. Okay, I don't believe in fame. Everybody wears their pants the same way. That's the way I look at it. Just like in my research, do you think anybody's going to tell you that after Mr. Zapruder, Mr. Sussman got off the wall and stuff, where did they go from there? I'm going to tell you, Mr. Zapruder went to the newsroom. Where was Miss Stutzman at? Here she is. She's right here. She's right here. As you see, close up of her right here from this Zapruder film, and there she is right there. She walked over and stand right in front of the Texas School Book Depository because she's right here. We see her in Willis, image number 8. She's standing right here. There's Mrs. Sussman. She was the one on the wall with Mr. Zapruder. That's his secretary right there. See, I pinpoint of exactly where people was at during the time of assassination and where they was at after the assassination, because this gives us information because it's on their locations and everything else. But now we see Mrs. Sussman in front of the Texas School Book Depository. Now you're not going to look nowhere else. You're not going to find in nobody's research or anywhere else on that where was Mrs. Sussman after they got off the wall. They're not going to tell you this because no one knows. I know because I look for it, because I do my research different than anybody else does. I look for facts. I have to know where everybody's at. I have to know what everybody's doing after assassination. Okay, we can't tell what's going on before the assassination, but we can tell what's going on after assassination. But when it came to Mrs. Sussman, we know she was talking to a couple over by shelter number 1 in the Pelagore. We know she was over there talking to them because we see it in the Zapruder film. But then we also know that after the assassination, she was standing in front of the Texas School Book Depository trying to get all the information out she can and everything else. And as you see, she's looking right here. There she is there. There she is there. See? The exact match. Same person. So see, I know where people was at after the assassination. Okay? Because I look for it. No other researcher don't do this. They'll sit there and they'll say, well, let's look over this document here. I'm going to show you, take out a few words out of this document here. I'm going to point this out as evidence. And I want to talk about this. We're going to point this out as evidence. I want to talk about this. We're going to point this out as evidence. But what are they showing? They're showing nothing. They're showing nothing. I'm showing you 5 gunmen. I'm showing you showing a gunman with rifles. I'm showing you firing from them locations with their rifles. I'm showing you the locations where these bullets made contact with. I'm showing you where people was at after the assassination and what they was doing. I talk about that. I talk about what actually went on before the assassination and to a lot of people's stories and everything else. I show you the true route of Oswald taken that day. I show you distance between each one of the shots, where they came from, their location when they made contact. I'm showing you time frames of when these shots occurred based on the Zapruder film, starting with frame 133. Okay, I'm showing you a lot of evidence that no other researcher can show you. And I've been in this research on this case for only 12 years. Only 12 years. But there's been researchers been doing it for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, or even back all the way to when the time assassinations happened. There's been people in that long, and none of them has never found this information. None of them will never tell nobody this information. A lot of them don't even know this information, but the information's always been there. All they had to do was look for it. I mean, they claim they looked over these films 1,000 times over. Why didn't they see these shots? Why didn't they see these extra shots? Why wasn't the manhole cover talked about before? You're not going to hear none of this information. Until recently, since 2005, I started making my post on JFK assassination, till now, 2017, that's 12 years. When you go from 12 years, when you go from 2000, let's go from 2004 back, you're not going to find none of this information. From 2004 back, you're not going to find none of this information. You're not going to hear nothing about this information. You're only going to hear from 2005 to 2017. Reason why is because I'm the one that brought this information out. And when another researcher talks about it, is because of pure simple fact I told them. I'm the one that told them through emails and through phone conversations. Okay, that's how they know their information today. Just like people didn't used to look at the films, didn't look at the images. And nowadays, since I come out with my research, now more people's looking into the films, looking more into the images. Okay, but it wasn't until I brought my stuff out for them to start doing that. Okay, this is the reason why my research is the most important. This is the reason why I post my videos, because I want everybody to know this information, not just one person. I think everybody should know this information. That's why I tell people in my videos, share this video with your family, share these videos with your friend, so they will know this information. Get this information out, because you're not going to find it nowhere else, only on my channel. Only on my research is you're going to find this kind of information, and all the information, not just partial information, all of it. Okay, that's why I want to make this video as well. I'll make another video after this one. I want to thank you for all the new subscribers we've been getting here recently. So far this month in December, I have 2 books sold, one on Kindle, one on paperback. They're already sold. But, you know, in the description down below, I'm going to leave the site if you want to order one of my books and stuff. Like I said, from now until May of next year, all my book royalties, I want to go into that GoFundMe account so I can get this documentary made. And if you want to make a donation to the documentary as well, it's going to be in the description down below where you can make a donation. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Don't forget the like button. Don't forget the subscribe button. Share this video with family, with friends, with other people. Go on Facebook or any other media. You know, post it so people will know the truth and know exactly what really happened that day, because the truth has to be told. Thank you, and you have a pleasant, pleasant day.